You're watching 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
Good evening, I'm Melissa Bruner.
And I'm Ralph Hipp. 4 Topeka area law enforcement officers will not be facing criminal charges regarding that shooting that claimed the life of a Maple Hill man who had opened fire against them.
13's Justin Surensey is up first tonight with an update on the investigation.
Melissa, 1 Capitol Police and 3 Topeka police officers exchanged fire with Richard Reed, who died of his injuries 8 days later. All 4 had been awaiting the results of the investigation for 31 days. Shawnee County District Attorney Chad Taylor completed his review, clearing all law enforcement involved in an April 10th shooting, which resulted in the death of Richard Reed.
Suspect down.
Want to make her an I-70, want to make her an I-70, suspect down, suspect down.
Taylor says the 3 Topeka police officers and 1 Capitol police officer were justified in their use of both self-defense and defense of others under Kansas law.
Shot fired.
150 advice,
Shot fired.
Taylor says no criminal action will be taken, and the DA's office considers the matter closed. Both TPD and Capitol Police officials have confirmed all officers are back on active duty. Affidavit reports indicate Reed carjacked 2 vehicles with an AR-15 style rifle in southwest Topeka and opened fire at officers near 21st and Auburn Road and on the southwest Wanamaker Bridge over I-70. The report also states Reed rammed into a police car twice and got out of a stolen vehicle with weapon in hand. He was hit several times by officer fire and died in the hospital 8 days later. Despite the investigation being finalized, Shawnee County Coroner Dr. Charles Glenn has told 13 News he will not release the details of Richard Reed's autopsy report until toxicology results have been finalized, which could take months.
Justin, thanks for the update, Justin. 2 people were arrested on drug and counterfeiting charges Friday on VA property. VA Police Chief Sparky Edwards told 13 News today he pulled over Gary Ray for a traffic stop near the facility's 21st Street exit. He says Ray had a suspended license and a vehicle search turned up meth, drug paraphernalia, and about $160 in counterfeit bills. Edwards says Ray's girlfriend, Gisela Pryor, approached the scene and was arrested for possession of meth and drug paraphernalia. Edwards says he brought Ray to VA police operations where Ray passed out and was bleeding from the mouth. He says Ray was sent to Stormontvale for treatment, and both he and Pryor were later booked into the Shawnee County Jail on drug charges and a charge of counterfeiting worth more than $25,000. The Topeka fire chief is still refusing to name the victims in a fire last week that sent a family of 6 to the hospital. The fire broke out at 231 Southwest 40th Street Thursday morning. Without names, we are unable to update the conditions of the 2 adults and 4 children who escaped. Fire officials only said several were transferred to KU Hospital for treatment. WIBW has reached out to City Manager Jim Colson for assistance. Shawnee County property records show the home is owned by Bradley Bartlett Jr.
Well, city leaders do want your input on the upcoming budget for next year, and we have a live look for you. This is at the Cyrus Holiday Building, where city leaders are holding their 2016 budget feedback listening session. 2 forums are being held here at the Holiday Building. It's at 6th and Southeast Madison. This is the one now, and the next one at 11 o'clock Tuesday morning. Some of the priorities on tonight's budget agenda include public safety, infrastructure, recreation, leisure, and community development. Organizers say the meetings are an opportunity for Topekans to weigh in on the priorities for next year's budget. That before City Council members must adopt the 2016 budget priorities a week from tomorrow night. This lawsuit against the block grant school funding could lead to a constitutional showdown between Kansas lawmakers and the judiciary system. 4 school districts already are suing the state. That's over adequacy of the funding, and they say the new block grant funding approach does not meet constitutional obligations. Reports indicate during school finance battles 10 years ago, conservative Republicans refused to comply with a court order for a certain amount of money, saying that violated the separation of powers doctrine and that school funding is a legislative decision. How conservatives are holding the majority in both chambers, the reports say a similar showdown could be looming.
Healthcare expenses for jail inmates raised questions from Shawnee County commissioners today. Commissioner Bob Archer asked Department of Corrections Director Brian Cole about requested voucher payments. Cole said they were for medical costs outside of the jail. He says 1 inmate recently had to undergo open heart surgery and others travel off-site for dialysis and cancer treatments at the cost of the jail. Commissioner Shelley Bueller says the trend of sick inmates is not new, and Cole agrees.
Just recently, we had an inmate who suffered a heart attack, had open heart surgery. So we do have a sick population, and I believe this is probably the beginning of some bills that we're going to see. We do know across the nation that inmates that are coming to jails are staying longer and they're sicker.
Cole estimates in March alone, the Department of Corrections spent $40,000 on medications. Fort Riley officials say they are evaluating procedures to hopefully avoid the traffic backups that increased security measures created this morning. This is what it looked like this morning on I-70. The Kansas Highway Patrol says backups stretched a mile onto the highway at exit 301 and through Ogden. Cars were lined up all the way to Skyway and the K-114 junction at one point. Fort Riley Public Affairs Chief Bob Everdeen told 13 News it's because the military stepped up to Force Protection Condition Bravo. As we told you Friday, it is not tied to any specific threat, but a general increase in the threat environment. Everdeen says drivers should continue to expect traffic delays. KHP, which provided these photos for us, says it's working with KDOT to place additional traffic message alert boards.
Well, the rains we had yesterday gave everybody the chance to stay inside with Mom, and now we're in for a stretch of a different kind of weather.
Let's find out from Jeremy Goodwin what you can expect.
Hi, Ralph and Melissa. It's been a cooler day across the area. A few breaks of sunshine this afternoon after a cloudy start, and temperatures well below normal for this time of the year. This is our Emporia cam provided by ValueNet, looking from Emporia toward the Kansas Turnpike, and you see that beautiful sky out there. Temperature still comfortable, well below normal for this time of the year. It is 62 in Topeka. Emporia has 63. Manhattan 62. Lawrence is 62 right now, and the winds remain strong from the west and northwest, gusting as high as 25 to 30 miles per hour. Capitol Federal Live Storm Tracker, all dry and expecting to stay dry overnight. Low temperature 43. Tomorrow 70. Not as cool as today, but certainly a comfortable day. Your 8-day forecast has more storms late this week. Details are coming up in a few minutes.
All right. Coming up, they are celebrating 90 years of work in the community.
But just what is CRC? We'll take you inside to find out what they do and why they're okay if you don't know, next.
You're watching 13 News at 6 with Melissa Bruner and Ralph Hipp. 13 News, Kansas News Leader. You're watching 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
Yes, it is for a full 9 decades now. The Community Resources Council has worked quietly in the background, and they're supporting other nonprofit organizations in accomplishing their missions.
But now the Greater Topeka Chamber of Commerce is putting them front and center as a nominee for this year's Nonprofit of Distinction Award.
Good afternoon, CRC.
Despite 90 years of work, many people don't know what Topeka's Community Resources Council does, and that is by design.
I'd almost compare us to the Chamber of Commerce, but for nonprofits.
Executive Director G.R. Laughlin says CRC works with member businesses and organizations to provide the big picture approach in addressing major community challenges like health, homelessness, and emergency aid.
The overall mission of CRC is to do 4 things: collaborate, advocate, research, and educate in the community, bringing resources to those that need the resources. We don't give resources, but we connect resources to the clients and to the organizations that need the resources.
To that end, CRC publishes a 170-page resource directory listing all that's available in Shawnee, Jackson, and Jefferson counties. They also maintain MacLink, a shared database for organizations to see which clients are receiving help to avoid duplication. Plus, there are quarterly education sessions and CEO roundtables for people to build trust and brainstorm.
The idea is that collaboration is obviously going to make everyone perform better. When you, as an executive director of one nonprofit, have a good relationship with an executive director of another nonprofit, you'll be able to A, reduce duplication, but B, live in a more collaborative environment.
Perhaps one of the biggest undertakings for CRC in recent years is joining with USD 501 and the Rescue Mission through its new NetReach program to take over the former Avondale East School building. It not only brings programs together, it brings them right into a neighborhood that needs them.
501 really knew that this was the anchor building for this community of 750 homes.
Mary Thomas was charged with filling the building and deems it a success. With NetReach the major tenant, the building serves as a site for people to fill out assistance forms for various organizations. They host a summer lunch program for USD 501 and neighborhood dinners. reading and gardening programs. The Doxazo Club hosts camps, which include refurbishing homes around the neighborhood. Most recently, CRC launched a weekly farmers market at the school, a collaboration with NetReach and the Shawnee County Health Agency. More than 100 organizations hold meetings here, including collaborative groups like Heartland Healthy Neighborhoods. But just as it has been for 90 years, CRC is the tie that quietly binds it all together.
I feel that we're kind of the big brother of helping out what's happening in our community and making sure that those that can't be heard are heard.
CRC invites you to a 90th anniversary celebration from 4 to 6 this Wednesday at the Net Center. The Chamber hands out its Small Business Awards on Thursday. And Ralph, as you know, the other nominees in the Nonprofit of Distinction category are HCCI, Housing and Credit Counseling, and Family Service and Guidance Center, the other nonprofit nominees.
So the 14th, and we'll no doubt cover those awards when those are happening later on this week. On to the weather we go. We'll take a break in a moment. And would you like some opportunity to possibly dry out this week?
We'll find out if that happens and when you'll need those umbrellas again. Jeremy Goodwin is back with us next.
This is your 13 weather forecast with Jeremy Goodwin.
Temperatures were much cooler today, the humidity much lower as well, and a huge change in the atmosphere as the rain has moved away and we have a couple of dry, low humidity, sunny days ahead of us. Here's the view on the radar or satellite and radar across the Midwest. Just a few partly cloudy skies overhead, fair weather cumulus clouds, if you will, and off to our east, showers and thunderstorms associated with the cold front that moved through our area yesterday. It brought the humidity down, it brought the temperature down, and it's taken the rain chances out of here, at least for a couple of days. Looks to be dry tomorrow and for the most part on Wednesday as well. Zooming out, the storms extend all over from San Antonio to New Orleans and up into parts of Ohio as well. Now look at the temperatures ahead of the cold front. 86 in Atlanta. They actually touched 90 today. New York City is 70. Minneapolis with 49 degrees. Topeka 62. That is below normal for the middle of May and certainly below what we've had the last couple of days. Let's look outside. Live view from Maple Hill. It's our tower cam from the Capitol Federal Sky Cam there in Maple Hill. It's our transmission tower, and you can see it's just a beautiful day out there, and we are expecting to see the sunny skies continuing for tomorrow. There's our Quinton Heights view from the Capitol Federal Sky Cam, and it is 62 officially. That number, Billard Airport, west-northwest wind 16 miles per hour. It's been gusting at times, the high is 30 miles per hour today, dew point 40. That's a big drop from yesterday when those dew points were in the 60s. It felt very sticky and humid outside. Not so much today after seeing the temperatures fall some 10 to 12 degrees and the dew points falling about 20 degrees. We're feeling much more comfortable today. A bit of a breeze from the west and northwest, gusting at times 20 to 30 miles per hour today. Nothing showing up on the radar. Will be dry all night with a mostly clear sky. 43 for the overnight low. That is below normal. Tomorrow, 70, lots of sun. Not as cool as today, but certainly below average for this time of the year. Now, later in the week, we get into a storm chance. Late Wednesday night and Thursday morning, we have a chance of seeing some storms there. Friday and Saturday, we may be dealing with severe weather across the area again. And Wednesday or Saturday, we do expect to be in Emporia programming weather radios at true value from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. That's if the weather cooperates. Hopefully, they'll hold off until later in the day and we can get that event all done. But tomorrow and Wednesday, just beautiful. And then the stronger storms come back Friday and Saturday. It's the peak of storm season, but it's also just a beautiful time of the year. Tomorrow, 70, light winds,
beautiful
lots of sunshine.
Over the next few days.
Great time to perhaps mow for some
And
folks.
without the severe weather and just some rain, everything is so beautifully green and the flowers are blooming. So
it is. Tomorrow's just a beautiful day, too.
Allergies aside,
Yeah,
we'll enjoy
that'll
it.
pop up, too.
Thank you.
The Kansas City Royals, we were still awake for that. They finished their game shortly after midnight this morning, getting ready for another game tonight.
I fell asleep. We'll tell you how it turned out. And also, good weather means time for some high school tennis. We'll take a swing at that next.
13 Sports with Jonathan Deutsch.
Good evening, everyone. The Kansas City Royals finished last night's series finale with the Detroit Tigers earlier this morning, actually. The Royals earned a win in the 10th inning after escaping two bases-loaded jams. Tonight, the Royals are in Arlington for a 4-game set against the Texas Rangers. Danny Duffy gets the ball in Game 1 against Colby Lewis. Last time out, Danny Duffy had one of his worst starts ever. He threw just 1 inning, gave up 6 hits and 4 earned runs. He looks to bounce back against the Rangers, who own the worst home record in Major League Baseball. First pitch is at 7:05 tonight. We're less than 2 weeks away from the French Open, and tennis is in the air here in Topeka. One of the 4 Class 5A boys regionals was held at Kossover Tennis Center. Emporia, Salina Central, Salina South, Shawnee Heights, Highland Park, Seaman, and Topeka West competed today. The top 6 in doubles and singles advance. In singles, Seaman's Houston Chin finished 5th to advance. He beat Felix Bauer from Topeka West, who also moved on. From Emporia, Ali Nasrazadoni, he advanced in doubles. Boyd and Waters from Seaman, they finished 3rd after beating Rice and Shima from West. Both of them advanced. And then Slaughter and Chiarini from Shawnee Heights, they finished 6th. Congratulations to all the players. The Emporia State Hornets, despite not being able to play for the MIAA Tournament Championship, have their assignment for the Division II NCAA Tournament. The Hornets earned a 3 seed in the Central Region and will travel to St. Cloud, Minnesota to play the first round of the NCAA Tournament. The Hornets will face the Southern Arkansas Mule Riders. Yeah, the Mule Riders on Thursday. Other teams in the region include St. Cloud State, Minnesota State, Henderson State, and the Missouri Southern Lions. ESU ended the season with a record of 39-14. The Mule Riders, they finished with a record of 39-16. The Hornets aren't the only team going dancing. Kansas softball earned its 2nd consecutive tournament bid. The Jayhawks Regional is in Columbia, Missouri, home to Mizzou. They'll face Louisville on Friday afternoon. This is the 12th tournament appearance in program history for the Jayhawks. Momentum is on the Jayhawks side as they finish the regular season with a 3-game sweep of Iowa State. KU finished the year 38-13. Louisville, they finished 30-17. Ralph, Melissa, will end with an NFL note. Patriots quarterback Tom Brady has been suspended for 4 games next season for his role in the deflated footballs controversy. Guys?
Thank you, Jonathan. And the Patriots, Melissa, were fined $1 million for all of that.
We'll be back to check your forecast with Jeremy next.
This is your 13 weather forecast.
It's been a cooler day across the area, low humidity, a lot of sunshine, a brisk breeze out of the west, at times as high as 30 miles per hour. Outside right now, here is a live look from the Parish Hotel's camera on Huntoon Hill, looking out at this beautiful day. 43 tonight, clearing and cool for this time of the year. West winds 10 to 15, not as cool tomorrow. High of 70, that's still slightly below normal. And let's check the full 8-day forecast. 74 on Wednesday. We have a chance of rain early Thursday morning. And then Friday and Saturday, we may be dealing with severe weather across the area. Saturday, we do plan to be in Emporia at True Value Hardware programming weather radios from 11 a.m. to 3 if the weather cooperates.
All right, great. Hope you're following WIBW Melissa Bruner, WIBW Ralph Hipp on our Facebook pages, and on mine, Melissa, the WIBW Ralph, I posted today the shows that CBS has renewed for the new fall season. And there's one that's a long-time show that's not on that list so far.
Oh, we have to look. You're not just going to tell me.
I'm going to leave it at that. And how about on your page? Anything special?
I have pictures of what's in my garden, flowers and critters.
We talked about how green everything is, too.
Also, we had a story at 5 o'clock about how insects, like actual restaurants that have insects and bugs on the menu, are becoming more popular. So I asked on my Facebook page. Intentionally, if you would ever do this. So let me know. And we'll see you back here tonight at 10.
Wheel of Fortune is next. Bye-bye for now.
Get the latest news, weather, and sports on WIBW.com or follow WIBW on Twitter and Facebook. WIBW-TV, Heartland Regional Emmy Award for Evening Newscast.